All right, guys, we got a couple new pieces of RFK news here that I wanted to share with you. This is an NBC News. RFK Jr. candidacy hurts Trump more than Biden, NBC News poll finds. The finding, which contrasts with a number of other national polls, comes amid concerted Democratic efforts to prevent Kennedy from harming Biden's campaign. All right, so let me just point out up front here, this is not the end-all be-all, this article and this point, because as they explain, some polls say the opposite. So you can't write home about this. It's not a guarantee. Just keep that in mind as we go through it. The latest national NBC News poll finds the third-party vote, and especially independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., cutting deeper into former President Donald Trump's support than President Joe Biden's, though the movement the other candidates create is within the poll's margin of error. Trump leads Biden by 2 percentage points in a head-to-head, 46 to 44. Yet when the ballot is expanded to 5 named candidates, Biden is the one with a 2-point advantage. So when you add all the candidates, it's Biden 39, Trump 37, Kennedy 13, Jill Stein 3, Cornel West 2. That is really interesting, especially because, in theory, all 3 of these candidates should take more from Biden than Trump, because ideologically, that would make the most sense. That Biden is part of the Democratic Party, nominally center-left. Jill Stein's a lefty, Cornel West a lefty, Robert F. Kennedy, let's just say he's confused, but he's got the last name Kennedy, so you would think, associated with Democratic or left politics. But no. When you add them in, it actually hurts Trump more. The big reason is that the poll finds a greater share of Trump voters in the head-to-head matchup backing Kennedy in the expanded ballot. 15% of respondents who picked Trump the first time picked Kennedy. Wait, 15%? Wow. Kennedy in the 5-way ballot compared with 7% of those who initially picked Biden. That's interesting. So in other words, it's been conventional wisdom that Trump has this hardcore, cultish base of support. I think that's true. But what this is also showing is that of the number of people who say they will vote for Trump, that is not just his hardcore cultish base. That's also a bunch of people who are sort of begrudgingly doing it. And when you give those people other options, 15% of them go, I'll pick RFK. That's interesting. In addition, Republican voters view Kennedy much more favorably, 40% positive, 15% negative, than Democratic voters do, 16% positive, 53% negative. Damn. So guys, here's why that's important and how we got here. Most of the shit that RFK says has been right-wing coded. It's more of like a right-wing agenda focused on right-wing talking points, right? The stuff that he's obsessed with and talks about all the time is more stuff that's big in right-wing circles. Like his vaccine skepticism, for example, right? Or talking about how against funding Ukraine he is. Well, according to the polling data, it's Republicans who are more anti-funding Ukraine, and Democratic, even the voters, are more pro-funding Ukraine, right? So because his focus is more right-wing coded, he's going to take more from Trump because Trump is the right-wing Republican candidate, right? That's really interesting. So in other words, the name recognition thing of Kennedy, and you associate that with Democrats right away, and it's a Democratic royalty name, that's now being overridden by the actions of RFK. Quote, at this stage, Kennedy's appeal looks to be more with Trump than Biden voters, said Democratic pollster Jeff Horwitz, who conducted the NBC News poll with the Republican pollster Bill McInturff. That might sort of bias it a little bit, right? That it's a Republican pollster. So they're trying to say RFK is more of a spoiler for Trump. So do they want Trump to attack him more? I don't know. That finding, however, contrasts with the conventional political wisdom as well as the result of other national polls suggesting that a bigger third-party vote hurts Biden more. The NBC News poll results on Kennedy's impact are different than other surveys, said McInturff, the GOP pollster. So there's always 2 possibilities. 1, it's an outlier, or 2, we're going to be seeing more of this, and our survey is a harbinger of what's to come. By the way, it could also be that he takes almost exactly 50-50 from both sides. That's certainly possible. Here's the thing that I fear. He recently attacked Trump. He also recently had a picture that he posted with him and Cenk Uygur hanging out, doing a hike together or something like that. If RFK starts coding himself more left-wing, then I think it will go back to he's taking more votes from Biden. But, the other thing is, he's as big of a hawk, if not a bigger hawk, on Israel than Biden and Trump. So all the pool of potential voters there on the left who would have voted for him if he was right about Gaza, now they all say fuck you to him because he's a piece of shit on the issue, right? So I don't know, man, but if he starts talking more lefty sounding, I'll take more from Biden. I think if he keeps saying right-wing coded things, he'll take more from Trump. Right now, it's a fucking coin flip. You got mixed evidence as to who he's going to take more from. But that's not even the point of me doing this segment. I wanted to give you that information, but I also wanted to give you this. Group backing RFK Jr. spent more than $2 million on abandoned ballot effort. American Values 2024 is the latest group to struggle using unlimited donations from the very wealthy to subsidize traditional presidential campaign expenses. So the gist of this is his super PAC was spending a shitload of money to try to get him on various state ballots across the country, and now they can't do that. They can't do that. And so, remember, he picked Nicole Shanahan as his VP. She's fucking loaded. She could dump as much money into the campaign as she wants. The campaign is separate from the PAC, or the super PAC. So the super PAC spent all this money, I think successfully got him on the ballot in Arizona, I think it was. And now they need to restart that whole process again in Arizona. Because having the super PAC get you on the ballot is not legally legit. Because in order to do that, you need coordination between the campaign and the super PAC, and the coordination is illegal. So you got to start from scratch, get on the Arizona ballot again, and now he's relying on Nicole Shanahan's money to try to use the campaign to get himself on all the proper ballots. But this is a major setback for RFK. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a colossal setback for him because whoever the super PAC, whatever state ballots the super PAC helped him get on, now it's back to the drawing board, back to square one on that shit. But you know what? From a legal standpoint, I think it's the correct reaction because you can't have coordination between the super PAC and the campaign, and clearly there was. And so I don't know. We'll see. As I always tell you guys, I'm skeptical that this guy's going to get on 50 ballots. I have no idea how many he's going to end up on, but at the end of the day, he might end up on some weird, insignificant number, and it could be a big deal if some of the ballots that he's on are the swing states, right? So we'll see what happens, but big setback here for RFK Jr. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. You know the drill. Everybody, please click like, please click subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Check out Crystal Kyle and Friends this week. I think we have Dave Smith on, the libertarian who recently debated with Jank against Dennis Prager and Batya Ungar-Sargon. I'll talk about Gaza and a bunch of other stuff. Should be fun. And yeah, that's all I got. You could listen to the show audio podcast style if you want over on Spotify. It's up to you. And thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. Can't do it without you guys. You know, I've never talked to an advertiser. You guys help fund this show from the ground up. So please consider Patreon link below, or there's the thanks button on YouTube if you want a tip. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.